to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and on today's episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a session that I did with a lady that wanted to lose weight, and we actually used a very specific approach within weight loss hypnosis called the virtual gastric band. Now, effectively, what happens with the virtual gastric band is that the client perceives that they are being going through a general anesthetic or a local anesthetic to experience a form of bariatric surgery where a band is placed around the stomach, so that rather than it being kind of like one stomach, it almost kind of shrinks into two different kind of sections, the top and the lower half of the stomach. And effectively that encourages people to eat smaller portions, have gaps between meals, and chew their food more thoroughly. And you'll hear throughout this session various metaphors, a guided visualization of experiencing the surgery, either associated or disassociated. And it's very, very powerful because it enables someone to work with the idea of reducing the amount that they eat. And obviously, the hypnosis session itself doesn't make people lose weight, but the hypnosis session can create a framework for people to make decisions unconsciously, that the side effect of that over time is that because they're eating less and eating better, then weight loss is just a natural side effect of that. This is going to be great if you overeat, if your portion sizes would be considered too large, if you're having more calories, or if you're just kind of binging and just kind of guzzling food in without even appreciating that. This is going to be a very useful session for you. And the great thing is you can listen to it as many times as is useful until that belief really solidifies that your stomach is smaller and therefore you need to eat in a certain way to align with this new gastric band that's been placed in there. Some people genuinely believe that they have a gastric band after the hypnosis. Other people simply use it as a metaphor, as a useful framework to making decisions about how much they should eat or could eat to enable them to lose weight. Whatever experience you have, in all honesty, doesn't matter so long as it's useful and starts taking you in the direction of the behaviors that will actually get you to the kind of person you want to be. But appreciate any feedback or thoughts you have. Just put them in the comments. It's really useful for me. There'll be a minute or so of relaxing music before the hypnosis starts. So just find somewhere comfortable where you won't be disturbed, relax and enjoy. I want you to get a sense that you're breathing in a sense of relaxation. And as you breathe out, just imagine any tension is leaving your body. Breathing in relaxation and breathing out tension. And with each and every breath, you're going deeper and deeper relaxed. You'll listen to the sound of my voice, but every now and then your conscious mind will pick up on different sounds. The sound perhaps of a ticking of a clock. The sound perhaps of traffic outside the window. Or footsteps or noises outside the door. In a strange and contradictory way, the more that your conscious mind is paying attention to these sounds, the better able I am to influence your unconscious mind. That's right. Deeper and deeper relaxed. I want you to imagine that as you're breathing in that relaxation, the relaxation is spreading throughout your whole body. The tiny muscles around your forehead start to relax. Muscles around your eyelids, eyebrows start to relax. Muscles in your jaw, your cheeks. That's it. Relax and loosen. Even the tiny muscles around your face that you pay no attention to. There are muscles in your nose that enable you to flare your nostrils. You can relax those muscles. Muscles in your mouth that enable you to enjoy food. You can relax those muscles. Muscles even around your ears and on the top of your head. Relax those muscles as well. And that sense of relaxation is going down your neck into your shoulders, making you feel completely and deeply relaxed. Completely relaxed. With each and every breath. That's right. Spreading down into your arms, all the way down into your hands, into your fingers. Sometimes it's useful to notice whether or not there's a tingling sensation there in your fingers, giving you the sense that your whole body is relaxing now. And I want you to imagine that if someone was to lift up your wrist, I want you to get an overall sense that the arm feels heavy and loose and limp, and that if they were to let go of that wrist, your arm would just slump straight into your legs, into your chair. Completely relaxed. That's right. The relaxation spreads into your legs, all the way down your legs, right down into your calf muscles, into the tiny tendons and muscles in your feet. Deeper and deeper relaxed. And I want you to imagine that you're about to go on a journey. And this is a journey into a place where you may have been or may not have been before. I want you to imagine that you are about to go to a place that is a surgery. Now, this surgery may exist within a hospital or within a clinic, but I want you to imagine that it is a very exclusive, high-end clinic. I want you to imagine that everything, when you arrive, is perfectly organized, professionally run, very hygienic and very clean. But in order to get there, we're going to go on a journey. And that journey will be a journey of your imagination. I will count down from 10 to 1. And you will imagine that you are drifting, flying, floating towards this clinic. It is a private clinic just for you. There will be no other people there other than people that work in that clinic. The surgeons will be there, the anaesthetist will be there, maybe there's even someone on reception, but there will be no other patients in this clinic. I will count down from 10 to 1, and you will imagine traveling towards this clinic. Now, this clinic can be in any part of the world. It could be a clinic of the future, it could be a clinic of the past. It's just a clinic in your mind's eye that you are confident and comfortable in undergoing a surgical procedure to help you on your journey to become the best possible version of you. As we start to count from 10 to 1, each descending number you will imagine traveling towards this clinic. But with each descending number, you will also feel that you are going 10% deeper and deeper relaxed with each and every descending number. Starting now, 10% deeper relaxed. Just imagining you're floating up outside of your own head, seeing yourself looking relaxed in that chair. 9, leaving this building, drifting, flying, floating. It's just your imagination. You're not actually flying, but you have the perception of being floating, flying, moving towards it. As we go to 8, another 10%, deeper and deeper relaxed, whole body slumped loose, completely relaxed, easier to breathe. Now that's right, 7. Another 10% deeper and deeper relaxed. 6. More and more comfortably relaxed. 5. Brainwave shifting from alpha to beta on their way to theta. The most vivid state of your imagination where you can have lucid dreams. Dreams that you feel like you're kind of in control of what's happening. And then 4, another 10% deeper and deeper relaxed. And maybe you're flying over cities and buildings, and you can see perhaps way off in the horizon as we reach to 3, that there it is, your own private clinic just for you. Maybe it's in a city, maybe it's in countryside, you decide. And we go to 2, getting closer and closer, and 1 touching down outside of the clinic entrance, and 0, you're now in your own human form. As if you're outside the reception area of this very impressive, high-end luxury clinic. And as you move towards the doors automatically open, you walk inside, and there is a friendly receptionist that tells you to wait in the waiting area, that the anaesthetist and the consultant will be with you very soon. And in the waiting area, I want you to imagine there is a large TV screen. And the large TV screen is explaining what the procedure is. Maybe there are diagrams and images on this screen, and there is a voiceover explaining what this surgery is. Explaining the shape of the stomach. Explaining that the stomach can stretch and grow. That for people that consistently have very large portions of food, their stomach is huge because the stomach can stretch, and that's the point of the gastric band. It stops the stomach stretching because it can't go beyond the size of the band. I want you to see how they do it. They don't open up the chest like it's a heart transplant. They just make a tiny incision just below the rib cage. They need to know what's going on, so they have a little tube that contains a tiny camera so they can see what's happening inside the body. They have another tube that lassos the band around the stomach. The stomach is small already, but by tightening the band at the middle point, it almost makes the stomach look like a sand timer in a diagonal position. It gives you a sense with the sand timer that in order for sand to go from the top to the bottom of a sand timer, an egg timer, it has to go through a narrow tube. The narrow tube separating the 2 parts of a sand timer means it takes time for the grain of sand to go from the top to the bottom. The voiceover on the video explains that's how it will work in your stomach. It will simply take longer for your stomach to empty before it goes into your intestines. The stomach is to make the food small enough to pass through your digestive tract. The voiceover explains that in order to work with your gastric band, it's crucial that you chew your food thoroughly. The benefit of chewing your food very thoroughly is that you can extract more value, more pleasure from your food than if you suddenly swallowed it and just chewed 2 or 3 times. Now, there isn't a number of times that you're recommended to chew, but the more times you chew, then the more you break down the fiber and the more you break down what the food is in your mouth. And the more well chewed your food is, the more efficiently your body can extract nutrition, the more it can extract energy. Many people will eat food for energy without realizing that if they chew it properly, their body can get the energy quicker. He then explains that in order to work with the gastric band, it's worthwhile imagining the top part of your stomach as your hand holding a small ball, like a golf ball or a squash ball. That in terms of non-high water content foods, you want to think about that size of a portion. You can have as much salad or high water content vegetables as you want, but in terms of the main food, like your protein or your main carb, that will be the size of your hand, your fist, holding a golf ball. That's right. In order to work with it, it makes sense that if you're eating less, you eat better quality. And all these thoughts permeate and rattle around your mind as the anaesthetist walks in, asks you to go to the consultation room, asks whether or not you would want general or local anesthetic. You find that you are asking for local anesthetic because you want to be aware of what's happening while it's happening. The anaesthetist said that's fine. You are wearing all the right appropriate clothes for surgery. And now that you're wearing those clothes and you can see you're wearing those clothes, the anaesthetist informs you that you will have an injection. The injection is a small injection, and it is just designed to numb the area around your stomach. That's all it needs to do. And he gives you that injection now. He says that it will take just a few minutes for it to take effect. But all you will notice is kind of a strange sensation around your stomach area and maybe around the skin, around your chest and just under your ribs. Your eyes are open as you see the anaesthetist just do a check. You see him with something that looks like tweezers, just pinching your skin. And you're seeing him do it, but you can feel nothing, which reassures you that the surgery that you're about to experience will be completely pain-free. If that makes sense, just let me know by nodding your head. That's right. You are now put onto the surgeon's bed and wheeled into the surgeon's room. This is a very well-lit area. Everything looks very clean. There are 2 or 3 surgeons around, all wearing masks, with surgical gloves, with white, pristine clothes, giving you the overall sense that this is a hygienic, clean, professional area. As you lie there, you can see a screen next to you. This screen will show you what the camera is showing you inside the body. This is what the surgeons will use to make sure that they lasso the band around your stomach in exactly the right area. They lift your gown just over your bottom of your rib cage, and they make a tiny incision with a scalpel. And although you can see the incision being made, you feel no pain. There is a tiny bit of blood and they wipe it away. They then start feeding a tube into that tiny incision under your rib cage. And the first tube is simply the camera to see what's happening inside your body, to navigate their way to your stomach. The second tube contains what you can see is a silicone band attached to what looks like almost a lasso type of device to hoop it around your stomach. It looks very clean, it looks very hygienic, and it looks like it would last a very, very long time. As you see that being entered into your skin, you get an overall sense that you know something's happening inside, but you can't feel what's happening inside. You shift your attention to the screen. You can then see this camera navigating its way towards your stomach, and occasionally the band that you can see attached comes into shot every now and then. The surgeon positions the tube so it can aim exactly at your stomach. You then see that the band is being wrapped around the stomach. And although you can see that your stomach is being squeezed in the middle section of your stomach, you feel nothing. It feels weird and surreal to see that your stomach is doing that and not be able to feel anything that's taking place. You can see that they tighten it, not entirely, and the surgeon explains to you that it needs to be tight enough to restrict the flow of food from the top to the bottom of the stomach, but not so much that the food cannot pass from the top to the bottom. He explains that it's vital that food can pass, but if you attempt to eat too much, it's going to put pressure on the band. He explains that if you eat too much and force too much at the top of the stomach before it's made its way to the bottom of the stomach, that will force the band lower and lower down your stomach in a process known as band slippage. He explains that if it slips too much, then it becomes completely ineffective. And as he's saying that, you make a commitment to yourself that you will work with your band rather than against your band. And you will do that by knowing that if you're going to eat less, you're going to eat better. Better quality of food and better quality of nutrients. That's right. If you're going to eat better quality food, it makes sense to enjoy that food even more. Because if you're spending 10, 20, 30% more on food, it's only fair that you get 10, 20, 30% more value and pleasure from the food that you're eating. And by having better food and enjoying it more, there is no loss, only benefits. The less you eat, the more you will enjoy that food. You also make a commitment to chew that food really well. You will chew it until effectively the food in your mouth becomes almost like a paste. There is no big chunky elements that's going to be in your mouth that you swallow. You will chew the food to extract all the pleasure, all the flavors, and then it means that the food entering your stomach will more effortlessly and easily pass from the top to the bottom, in the same way that a sand timer with very fine sand would more easily pass from the top to the bottom. The more that you chew your food, the more effortless food will pass from the top to the bottom of your stomach. It sounds like a good idea. Have better quality food, better nutrients, enjoy it more, chew it more, and really pay attention to the food that you're eating. You will have more pleasure from your food than ever before, but also you will enable your body to digest food much better than ever before. You will do that by eating less but eating better, chewing well, and allowing your body to do what it does best, to take energy and nutrients from food and to excrete the waste. The surgeon informs you that the procedure has been a success, that the band has been implemented, it is tightened, and it will not slip so long as you don't overeat. It's right in the middle section, and you can see on the screen that now your stomach is looking like a sand timer, slightly diagonally positioned. You make the commitment to eat well, eat less but eat better, and to chew as much as you can before naturally, not even trying to swallow. The swallowing will just happen all by itself. That's right. The surgeon informs you that he is going to be removing both the tubes from that tiny incision, and you can see him doing it. A tiny bit of blood comes out as the tubes leave your body. They've checked that everything has been taken from your body. There is nothing that shouldn't be there. The only thing in your body that wasn't before is the band that has now made your stomach slightly smaller. You will choose non-vegetables and salads to the size of your fist holding a golf ball. And by doing so, you will eat less but eat better. You can now see them putting surgical glue around the tiny incision. The surgeon informs you that after a few days this will naturally fall off. You don't need stitches for something so small. The skin will heal naturally itself. He even informs you that there will barely even be a noticeable scar. And even if there would be, it would be tiny. He informs you because you've had a local anesthetic, you will just need a couple of hours of rest for your body to recuperate. He lets you know that afterwards you might feel some slight sensations, not of pain, but just of an unusual sensation around the stomach. He explains that the very first meal should not be for another at least 5 hours, just to enable the stomach to heal. And he says that that first meal is absolutely vital. Vital that it's a small portion of the most enjoyable food that you can find. Nutritious, enjoyable food. A meal that will set you up for good habits in the future. A delicious meal that you can enjoy, but a delicious meal that's healthy, and it will be a small portion. You can have as much salad or high water content vegetables like tomatoes or whatever you might want, perhaps avocado around it, but the main meal itself will be the size of your hand holding a golf ball. You make certain commitments to yourself as you're spending that 2 hours just feeling like you're recovering. You're proud of the progress that you've already made. You feel that a lot has changed in the last few months, and that this is just helping you to do lots of what you're already doing. It helps you to make even better choices when you're already making great choices. It helps you not eat unnecessary food when largely you're not eating food that is not necessary. It reminds you to enjoy food. Food is there to be enjoyed, and you will do that. And now that you're going to chew more, you will enjoy it even more. You also make a commitment to yourself that progress is the important thing, not perfection. As long as you're moving in the right direction, looking for opportunities to every now and then go in the fast lane. For a period of a few days, a few weeks, make excellent progress, ease off a bit, and always give yourself permission to have the occasional treat. Too much control is out of control, and therefore giving yourself balance is fine. If you can have 80% of your diet healthy, nutritious food, then the other 20% is completely necessary. It's necessary so that you don't feel the urge to go back to your old ways of eating. Because before, when you tried to be perfect, you ended up eating lots of food that were very unhealthy. What's more important than being perfect is being practical. Looking for opportunities to do subtle, consistent things, habits that keep moving you in the right direction. I want you to imagine while you're on that recovery bed, you drift off into a sleep, and you dream of yourself in the future, a year from now, and you're surprised at how much your life has changed. What you've lost in weight, you've gained in confidence, self-esteem. You just take it for granted now that these compliments that you get about how well you look, how much weight you've lost, that you seem so full of energy. It reminds you of a time when that really wasn't you. When you think back to your weekly shop, you're reminded that what's in the basket or the trolley is very different from what it used to be. How you cope with boredom, how you cope with stress, is different now than it was. You're happy with the progress that you've made, and you're happy with the new person that you're becoming and have already become. As you lie there in that dreamlike state, feeling grateful for the progress and excited for the future evolutions of yourself. You get an overall sense that the future is optimistic, positive, and you're glad that you've done something for you that will benefit the rest of your life. In a few moments' time, I'm going to count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken full of energy, optimism. You will look forward to your meal this evening, and it will be a meal that is healthy, nutritious, but doesn't need to be big. The idea that the more is better is not true. With food, quality is more important than quantity. You're looking forward to that quality, nutritious, delicious and healthy food. You will awaken full of energy, optimism, with a desire to make even more progress. You will awaken with all normal sensations returning to your arms and legs, and you will awaken fully present in this room at this time, looking forward to the next few days, weeks, and months ahead. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.